Okay, guys, we are officially starting our group chat, and today is January 2nd, 2019. So everybody, Happy New Year. I hope everybody had a great New Year. We had a lot of fun. We just got back from Florida, did a 2-week trip up and down the East Coast, and we spent our New Year's on the harbor in Baltimore, in a very nice hotel, and watched the fireworks. It was pretty nice. I hope everybody else had a beautiful and Happy New Year. And, this is a great time, I guess, on this group chat to start off with goals and mindset to start the group chat off because this is the time of year that you want to set these goals, right? Every year I set some big, scary goals for myself. And, 6 years ago, I had set a goal to be a millionaire in 5 years. Unfortunately, I missed it by a year. So don't be afraid to write scary goals because at the time I wrote I was going to be a millionaire, I only had $300 in the bank and I was broke. And I had just filed bankruptcy 6 months previous. So, it's important to set the goals because sometimes when you set the goals and you believe in them, they do happen. And, am I pissed off that it took me 6 years to be a millionaire rather than 5 years? I'm a little disappointed in myself, but I'll have to live with it, right? So don't be afraid to set these big goals for yourself, guys. Even if you think it's not possible for you. If you're right now and you're seeing first of all, I want to congratulate some new members that we have here that just hit 10,000 a month for the first time. So in the last week between Christmas and New Year's, we had 4 new members hit 10,000 a month for the first time ever. So one was Bob Fritz. We actually did a YouTube video with him today. He did an interview. I don't know if you guys saw that yet. And then Amrit just hit over 10,000 a month. So congratulations to Amrit. I believe he's on the group chat too. I just saw him. Oh, there he still is. Yep. I'm going to release his interview tomorrow on YouTube. We did it later tonight. I didn't want to release both at the same time. And then we had a 14-year-old kid, 14 years old, did 14,000 a month. His first 10,000 a month, his name was Taven. 14 years old, and he did 14,000. That's 1,000 per month for every year he was born. Can you imagine that? The youngest phone flipping superstar ever in history that I've trained. So that was pretty awesome. Give a big shout out to him. And then we had also Tyson hit over 10,000 a month. I'm not sure if Tyson's on this group chat tonight, but shout out to you, Tyson, if you're there. And if you're watching the replay, congratulations. We'll be doing an interview later this week as well. Oh, and we had 2 new members hit over 20,000 a month for the first time. So congratulations to Feldon. He hit 20,000 a month his first time last week. Congratulations. That was awesome. He was doing 13,000 a month. And then he joined our new VIP program between me and Aaron that we just launched. And in 3 weeks, he went to 20,000 a month. So that's awesome. And then another kid named Rick who joined the Next Level program that we have, me and Aaron, and he went to 20,000 a month as well. He just hit that yesterday, I believe. So I want to give a shout out to him. And I also want to give a shout out to Chris Pripe, hit 30,000 a month for the first time. So that's awesome. Chris did 30,000 a month with no car. That's even more amazing, isn't it? No car. He had every single person come to him and he did 30,000 a month. So shout out to those guys. So we're going to get started here, guys, today. Is everybody okay with me doing a little bit of mindset for maybe the first 20 minutes, half hour, and then we're going to do some very high-level negotiation stuff for you guys. So I've got a text negotiation that one of our members posted where the guy said no 8 or 9 times, and he ended up closing this guy. You guys want to see that text negotiation to see how we use it? He did kind of a combination between my objection script and Aaron's script in the Next Level, and then he kind of put them together and closed this guy, and I could break down the psychology of it for you and show you how it works. So we're going to do that if you guys like that, and then I could show you some ads that we're running in the apps like on Let Go and Facebook groups if you want to see how we're getting a lot of leads right now. Or we can do something else. We can do appraisals or eBay. What do you guys want to see most? Does that sound good? Tommy says the ads. Ads. Okay. So we'll go over the ads. So we'll start off with the mindset, negotiation, and I'll wrap up with the ads. Is that cool with everybody? Does that sound good to you guys? Okay, so first off, before we get started, I just want to make sure, because we have a ton of new people on this chat tonight, is everybody have access to the membership area where all the course videos are? Okay, if you don't, make sure you've gotten access to the course videos, and you want to make sure you definitely download the common objections and rebuttal script, because this is going to help you close people. You can copy and paste these objections when you're closing. Okay, you want to get the bill of sale is right here, and then read through this fact really quick. How many people have gone through this fact for phone flipping course members? It answers all the commonly asked questions. This is amazing if you're a new member because I packed all the most commonly asked questions that most people ask in the course, and I just put it into one document. You can look for a very, very quick cheat sheet. And then all the videos are obviously all here, and you can go through those at your leisure. I recommend if you're brand new, doing the start videos first, because those are the most basic. If you're more advanced and you're already flipping phones, then you can, you know, you can get right into the advanced stuff and, you know, pick which sections you need the most help with, whether it's ads, appraisals, negotiating, and things of that nature. Let me see what people are saying here if there's a question. Nick says, great info. And by the way, if you haven't downloaded this yet, make sure you guys have gotten the Credo, the phone flipping superstar Credo. Does anybody have that printed out and like posted on their wall? So if you don't have this yet, I posted in this group multiple times. Make sure you guys have this Credo here. This is very important because your attitude is very important to business, right? Because I don't care how good you are technical. Like, for example, Feldon, do you mind unmuting yourself for a second? I'm just going to chat with you. Now that you've hit the 20,000 a month, we can talk about this if you're okay with it, me telling everybody.
Yes.
You there, Feldon?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better now. Yeah. So Feldon, when he signed up for the course, so he did like a quick free call, and then he signed up for our VIP program. And Feldon knows a lot of technical stuff, right? Like he knew a lot about the phones. He knew about what ads to post. He knew how to do appraisals and things like that. But there was some mindset blocks that were kind of holding him back from getting to bigger numbers, right? And how important do you think, Feldon, that mindset stuff was when you getting from 13,000 to 20,000 only 3 weeks?
It was huge. I mean, if it wasn't for the mindset call, I don't think I'd be here right now. I mean, it's what, the second day of the month, and I already have enough stuff to hit 5K in sales. So I feel like the mindset was huge for me.
Awesome. So I want to, and a lot of people say, well, you know, Dave, I already kind of know everything I need, but, you know, I'm just not getting the results. Well, this is where you might be running into a mindset problem. This is where maybe your attitude just needs a little bit of adjustment. So I want to break down the specifics of mindset, of what's important to have a mindset. Someone says, where do I find a copy of that Credo? So I post it in the group. Actually, if you go to the group and you just type Credo, you should be able to find it. Just go to the group search bar and type Credo. And you could download it right here. Oh, wait, no, hold on. This one right here, the one where I actually posted the file. Just click that right there and you can print it out, put it on your wall. And you want to just say this every day to yourself. I am a phone flipping superstar. 10,000 a month is easy for me. I post highly effective ads daily to get lots of calls. I practice my appraisals daily so I can do them in 30 seconds or less. I'm not going to read through this whole Credo. You guys get the point. But it's very important that you say this Credo out loud every day, because a Credo is literally made for rewiring the neural pathways in your brain. So up to this point in our lives, we've created a certain series of decision-making skills, or called neural pathways, in our brain. And it's literally like little directions and streets that our brain figures out where we go. But sometimes our brain programs roads in the wrong path, right? And, you know, maybe that's because we didn't have the best upbringing. We didn't have the right mentors. Maybe our family wasn't successful. So they programmed the wrong pathways. Well, a Credo is made to develop new roads in your brain to lead to success. And when you do this, it takes 30 to 60 days to reprogram a neural pathway where your brain literally creates a new road to like higher level thinking. So if you recite this Credo every single day consistently, it's literally reprogram your brain to think like a more successful person. Okay. And this may, you know, when people hear this the first time, sometimes it can seem a little like, I don't know, woo-woo or voodoo-ish or something like that. But I promise you, you just have to have a little faith in it and do it. I used a Credo here. As a matter of fact, if you look at one of my other Credos, you can also download this if you want. This was a personal Credo I wrote out in 2011 when I was dead broke. I wrote this Credo when I was broke, not when I was rich, okay? And it was when I wasn't like doing a lot of the things that I wrote on this list. And I made it my personal Credo. And this personal Credo is the reason why I became so successful in business. So if you want to use this, I put some of my heroes here on this Credo. I put pictures of them for females and males. And these were some basic personal habits that I needed to improve on myself, and I used this Credo to help myself. So feel free to download that and use that as well if you like. And as you notice, you can see this was 2011 I created this. I had no money at all when I created this Credo. So you don't have a good attitude after you get rich, guys. You have the good attitude and the money follows that. Does that make sense? Okay. So let me break down a little bit about the mindset stuff here. By the way, do you guys like hearing this stuff? Is this helpful, or do you want to get like right to the strategy and forget the mindset? And what do you guys think? See, sometimes people are like, oh, Dave, I want specific stuff. Well, that's cool too. But I think the mindset is just as important, or if not more important, right? Everybody says mindset, 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 mindset. Okay. So first off, right? Step one, mindset of a phone flipping superstar. First of all, we got to decide who here wants to do 10,000 a month. Like genuinely, like Dave, if I did 10,000 a month, this would just change my life. I absolutely love it. So give me a yes if you want to do 10,000 a month, because that's the first thing is you have to decide that you want to do it. Sam says, hell yes. Brandon says, of course. They say, yes, 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 yes. I'm seeing a lot of yeses with exclamation points, okay? So first you need to make the decision that you want to do 10,000 a month, all right? You got to write it down. So you got to first write this down. People who write their goals down are 70% more likely than people who don't write their goals down. It has to be written. It's even better if you post it right in our group. So not only is it written down, everybody else sees it. So you're going to feel really bad if you don't hit it. You want that pressure, okay? So even better, post it in the group. So I want to do 10,000 a month. Good. People are posting it right now in the comments. Excellent. I love it. All right. Guys, by the way, I love it when people post their goals in the group and they show their results. They show the phones they're buying. This is important. This is not bragging. It's not burdening people. This is crucial to success. So I highly encourage you guys to post all your goals, your stories, all positive stuff that happens, because that reinforces it and it motivates the rest of the group. So please do more of that. All right, so once we make the decision, now we made the decision we're going to be a phone flipping superstar. We're going to first now make sure our attitude is right. So you want to start your day off before you do anything, before you take a call, before you post an ad, before you respond, recite the credo. Recite the phone flipping superstar credo and get yourself your mind right thinking. Because if you wake up in the morning and you're like, I got to respond to these messages before I do anything else, and you're in a state of panic and frantic and you're just trying to respond to people, your mind isn't ready. So you might actually cost yourself deals because you're not mentally prepared when that person swears at you, or they're like, oh, what are you, crazy? $100 for my phone? You got to be out of your mind. You're not in the state of mind to handle that person positively. Don't do that. Get yourself in the right state so you feel good. And this is what I do every morning. I meditate for 15, 20 minutes. And guys, this is really, I literally doubled my income last month just from doing this a little bit more effectively. It works. So like, I'll either be in the shower, I'll just lay in bed, and I'll be grateful. First, I'll be grateful. I'm so grateful that I have a business that I'm making $1 million a year, and I have a beautiful family. I'm so happy. I have a great wife. I have a beautiful daughter. I have this beautiful house that I have. I'm grateful for everything I have, because when you're grateful, you can't experience fear. It's literally impossible to experience fear as you're grateful. You can also not experience anger when you're grateful. So this is important. Again, this is not some just rah stuff. This is scientific fact that your brain cannot feel two emotions at once. So when you're grateful, you can't be resentful, angry, emotional, or upset. So this gratitude gets you in a happy state, and that makes you more effective as a negotiator, okay? So get happy with you are. Make sure that you're keeping peace in your life. All this stuff is all important, to start a good business. And make sure, most importantly, that the words you say to yourself are as kind as the words you would say to your best friend, okay? So for example, I don't know what I just did there. However, words to avoid. I'll be happy when I have $1,000 in my bank account. I hate dealing with idiot customers. This business is too hard. Nobody calls me for phones. I can't close anyone. So all these things are reinforcing the negative. You're literally attracting more of what you're saying. So I see sometimes, I'll get a member who posts in the group once a day for like 2 weeks, my Craigslist ads aren't working. And they'll just continue to say the same thing, right? But I'll notice they'll always say those same words. My Craigslist ads aren't working. Instead, hey, can somebody look at my Craigslist ads and tell me how I can get more to place effectively in this section, right? You see the difference between those two statements there? One is negative. The other was looking for a solution, right? So instead of using words like this, use words like this. How can I be happier currently with what I have and just save more money? Right? Not, I'll be happy when I have some money. Well, how can I find a way to have money with what I'm working with right now? How can you be happy with what I've got? This is absolutely crucial if you guys want to grow. Okay. Someone says, have you heard of the book, The Magic by Rhonda Byrne, totally about gratitude? So, I remember, I'll tell you a quick story, about how my life changed. I wanted to kill myself back in, it was 2003. I have a very, very rough childhood. My father passed away when I was 16 years old. He was a very heavy alcoholic. My mother was an emotional, abusive person. And I don't want to speak bad about my parents. I forgive them for everything, but I had a very, very rough life growing up. And, you know, I was attracting a lot of bad people in my life in my early 20s. Girls that I should not have been dating, a lot of people that I was dealing with that were doing like substance abuse and bad things. And I was living in an apartment that was 350 square feet, my entire apartment. It was in the basement of a real estate office. It was not a very good place. My bed was a day cot. And I remember I was just having problems with these girls that I was dating, and I couldn't find a decent relationship, and I had no money. I was working hard at my job, and I was constantly struggling, and I was a salesperson at the time selling vacuum cleaners, and I was doing horrible. And then I remember I listened to a Tony Robbins DVD, and he says, you know, everybody always waits to be happy. You know, when this happens, I'll be happy. When this happens, I'll be happy. But he said, but nobody is just happy with what they've got right now. So I listened, you know, long story short, I listened to this video, this DVD series for about an hour. And I remember sitting there drinking a bottle of Alizé liquor, because that's what I drank a lot back then. And I was laying on my couch, almost passed out. And then when I came, you know, sober again, I thought, well, you know something, I'm just going to start being happy with my life. Like, I'm always thinking when I'm going to be rich, I'll be happy. But, you know, I'm just going to be happy now. So I took my apartment at the time. I drank a lot, and I smoked cigars, and it was filled with like cigar ashes and trash. And it was just, I mean, I just really just didn't take care of myself at all. And I cleaned my whole apartment up, right? Clean it nice. And I went to a thrift store, and I bought some pictures, and I put some pictures on my bedroom wall to my apartment to decorate it. And I started treating it good. And you know, I felt a little better about myself after. I was like, this is great. You know, this place is a piece of crap, but it's my piece of crap. And you know what's crazy? 6 months later, I ended up moving into a beautiful condo in the city. And then 3 months after that, I met my wife. And it was just like, and there was like, now you guys have seen where I've gone from there, right? This was, you know, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago now, but it's crazy how much that happened. And that was because I just was grateful in that position. Now, I'm sorry for the long-winded story. I don't know if this is helpful or you want me to just shut up and move on, but I thought I might share that with you guys if anybody else is in a position like that. Okay. So, all right. So anyways, we want to use, instead of words like, you know, I'll be happy when, I hate dealing with this always happens. We want to use words like, how could I have closed that customer? How can I get more leads? How can I increase my closing average? We want to look for solutions rather than focusing on the problem. This is very important. Okay. We want to focus on the solutions. Okay, so now that we have our attitude right, this is all about attitude. Now, step 2 is now defining the type of business that you want. What kind of business? Why did you want to get into phone flipping in the first place, right? How many hours do you want to work per week in your business? How much do you want to make per hour? Do you want to do this while you're working a full-time job and crush it and do, like, we have a girl named Keisha that's in the group. She makes $20,000 a month and she's a full-time nurse. Do you want that? You want to make, you know, is this spare cash for you? Do you want it to be your full-time gig? You know, how much free time do you want in your personal life? You know, before I started teaching people this course and all this stuff, you know, me and Amy, my wife and my family, you know, after my first year of phone flipping, we automated most of it. And I only worked like 10 to 20 hours a week to do 30,000 a month. And, you know, we've traveled all over the country and things like that. So I wanted to build a business that gave me a lifestyle. We still do that. If you guys have followed my Facebook stories, you'll see how much I'm not in my business if you've ever watched my stories, but you'll see me always like traveling to exotic places, staying in beautiful hotels, going out to eat at nice restaurants. It's just, this is what I've built for myself. And like, here it is. I haven't been home in 2 weeks and 31,600. There's my last 31 days on eBay. I haven't touched a phone personally in a month. Like literally, I haven't even shipped it out. I just have built my business that way. So this is, I intentionally set it up so that I could be like that, right? So you have to define, what kind of business do you want? Do you want to grind and hustle? Because some of you guys need to grind and hustle. Like, for example, if you have no family, you don't have any relationship, you have nobody to report to, and you have no money, I would not recommend setting yourself up for this type of lifestyle right now. You can't be traveling and living in exotic places. You need to work your ass off, right? Because you need some money right now. So if you have like less than $5,000 in the bank, you're in desperation mode. You need to work as hard as you possibly can and put as many hours you can. And once you get out of desperation mode, then you guys can relax a little bit and kind of have the lifestyle like you have. You know what I mean? Once I had about 50 grand in the bank, then I started taking it a little bit easier. But before then I hustled, right? And, you know, you got to work your way up in levels. And then I didn't buy myself a car until I had a couple $100,000 in the bank. I drove a $1,700 car, for 5 years until I had 200 grand. Then I bought myself a brand new 2018 SUV, and then I bought my wife a really nice minivan that she's been wanting. But I made sure I had that money first and had everything set up before I did that. So define the lifestyle that you want. How many hours do you want to work? Everybody give me a feedback. Like, how many hours do you guys want to work and how much you want to wait? How many hours do you want to work per week to make that 10,000 a month in sales, right? Do you want, maybe you've got a job making 100 grand a year. You don't want this to be a full-time gig. Maybe you just want to make 3 or 4 grand profit every month. That's cool. I've had tons of members do stuff like that, where they're making a good job. Maybe you don't have a good job and you just want to just hustle as much as you can and put 20,000 in your bank account as fast as possible. You've got to define that first now before you start taking action, because based on how you're going to define yourself, that's what you're going to make decisions off of later. Does this make sense, guys? Right? Because if you're setting yourself up for more of a lifestyle business, then you're going to want to focus on more automated systems. Like, you don't want to be doing apps and fighting with that. You want to do more like paid Facebook ads and stuff. If you're grinding, then you want to do every bit of free traffic you can. Apps, Facebook ads, Facebook groups, Craigslist, every little thing possible, because you're just trying to make as much money as you can. Okay? So you got to define that. So next, then you want to set goals based on how you've defined your business, right? So now you're going to write down what you want. Do you want 10,000 a month? I want 10,000 a month while working 5 to 10 hours per week part-time. Or I want to hit 20,000 a month full-time phone flipping, working 30 to 40 hours a week. Or I want to flip phones only 5 days a week, no matter how many hours I have to work, and spend the weekends with my family. That's actually was my schedule personally. I worked 10 hours a day for the first year, Monday through Friday, and then Saturdays and Sundays. If anybody called me for a phone, I would not pick up. I don't care if I was going to make 500 hours. I disciplined myself to say, I can come Monday, I just can't come today. That was my rules. So you define how you want to set that up. Okay. So wrong way would be, I want to make more money next month. This is the wrong way to set goals. I want to make more money. That is not a goal. That's just a statement. That's just a wish. It's not going to come true. I want to flip more phones. That's just a statement. It's too general, right? You got to be specific. I want to close more deals. Nobody that says I want to close more deals tends to close more deals. However, if you say, I want to do 5,000 this month in sales while only working 5 hours per week, now you've set a specific time frame so your brain can comprehend this, and now you can focus on this. I am going to flip my first phone by Thursday this week, right? I want to increase my closing average from 2 out of 10 to 4 out of 10 by next month. These are very specific things that you can apply immediately and figure out what solutions you need to get to those goals. Does that make sense? Give me some feedback here, guys, if this is helping you or not. Like, what are you learning? Is anybody like relating to some of the mistakes here and saying, oh crap, I need to work on this and this is holding me back? Or are you guys dying to get right to the negotiation? It says absolutely amazing. Yes, yes, yes. Great info, smart. 2K profit a month to start 10 hours a week. Oh, I like that. So it says, I want to profit a minimum of 10K. Let me look at the comments. Oh, I didn't realize how much you guys were commenting here. Oh, that's fantastic. Wow, awesome. Thank you for participating, guys. I missed all these comments. Okay. Someone says, I totally need to get to work on this. I say I have or I do. Tommy says, can you share this document? Yeah, if you guys like it, I could probably post this in the group for you so you can just follow this. Okay, step 4. This is where a lot of people go wrong. Self-analysis. So here, it's funny because I get this all the time. Sometimes I'll have a person message me or something like that. And I don't coach people through message, or I'll see like a comment in the Facebook group like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to and this still isn't working. What that tells me is someone is lacking self-awareness, right? Because if you were doing everything you were supposed to and it's not working, you're probably not doing everything you're supposed to, right? There's a reason for it, right? There's a reason why somebody's doing 20,000 a month and someone else is only doing 2,000 a month. But a lot of people lack self-awareness, including myself. So don't feel bad if this is you. It's okay, but we want to be more self-aware. So I'm going to show you how to be more self-aware so you can spot that, right? And that's kind of like knowing the things we don't know. So know where your sticking points are. First, you want to write down a list of things to improve on. Now, this takes a little bit of pride swallowing, and it's difficult sometimes to do this. But I always analyze my weaknesses. I have composition books. Like, I have stacks of these throughout the last 7 years of growing my business. These are all filled up with character analysis, plans, blueprints, strategies to grow my business. And I literally will write down all the problems in my business, and I'll fill a whole page with things that I need to improve on, and I'll work at it. And literally these books, if you flip through them, there's charts, blueprints, action plans, goals, weaknesses, character analysis, tests, personality strengths and weaknesses. And I'm really self-aware. A lot of my mentors have told me I'm one of the most self-aware people they've ever worked with. And that's why I've done pretty well as far as growing quickly, is because I've learned that is so important to growing, is to know where our sticking points are so that we can work on them. And like, I learned this actually by hanging out with a lot of millionaires. That's where I got it from, because you tend to become the people you hang around. And a lot of my friends now are millionaires, and I put myself in that position. And some of my friends that are millionaires, they'll have a problem, and then they'll just not sleep until that problem is solved. Like, literally, they will stay up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning reading books, learning, practicing, watching course videos, and be like, oh yeah, that problem I had yesterday, I figured it out. And I'm talking about like some like serious high level problem that like it takes other people like a year to learn. They'll just do it in one night, and they'll just spend all day working on that one thing. It's insane, right? So like, for example, if you know your closing average is really bad, and you're like, you're, let's say 1 out of 10 on phone calls, or like 1 out of 20 with texts. That's a very low closing average, right? If you're getting 20 texts and you're only closing 1, that's very, very low. So you're like, okay, well, obviously I'm not that great at negotiating, because I'm only closing 1 out of 20. Let me just watch course videos all day on negotiating until I get at least to 5 out of 20 or 4 out of 20, right? Or I'm gonna just work on this all week long until I hammer this out. And then that's what you work on. So for example, here's some wrong ways to think about things and the right ways to think about things. So wrong thinking would be, I keep getting bad leads and people who want too much for their phone. This is a low self-awareness statement here. Craigslist keeps flagging my ads, so Craigslist doesn't work in my area. Again, very low self-awareness. Competition is too strong in my area. Very low self-awareness, because everyone is saying my competitor offered more money. Very low self-awareness. Okay, so right thinking. Who can I talk to that is good at closing, or what course video will help me close more people? Why are my ads getting flagged on Craigslist, and what course video will help me fix this problem? How can I improve my offering and appraisal skills to be more confident in closing deals? You see, when we ask the right questions, we tend to get better answers, right? Tony Robbins says the quality of your life will be determined by the quality of questions that you ask. So instead of making poor statements, we want to ask quality questions. Does this make sense? Let me see what you guys are saying in the comments here. Kevin says this chat is gold so far. Good. I'm really glad you like it. Sam says, holy shit, Dave. What about the people that agree on a price but never message back even after you check up with them? Okay, you're asking good questions. We're going to go into the negotiation part in a second, and I'll show you guys that stuff. But I love it how you guys are now starting to ask the questions a lot there. Someone says, same mindset I got from real estate seminars years ago. Credo, it works. Need to get back into it. Absolutely. All right, so let's see if we can wrap this up, if there's any more here to left. Okay, so that's all I've got for the mindset for today. So guys, practice this mindset as much as you can. Follow the credo. And I've got to say, once you guys get to a certain point, you really do want to surround yourself with the winners in the group, right? Because the winners tend to flock together in any company, right? You'll see people who are doing poorly always hanging out with the people that are doing poorly, and you'll see the people that are doing really well always hanging out with the people doing well. So, but here's the thing. You don't have to be doing well yet to hang out with the people doing well, right? You become them by hanging out with them. So for example, what I recommend is, once you guys get the basics down, you're in this course, we have like kind of tiers of training here, and you want to kind of level yourself up as you go. And as you guys notice, we get a lot of members, they'll do 10,000 a month, right? And it's not because the information is basic. There's the most advanced stuff in the country on phone flipping is in this course here as far as selling stuff. But it's the people involved and the access that you get with these different tiers. So for example, like with our next level, my head coach, Aaron did over $500,000 last year flipping phones. And he does 2 group chats a week with our members. So when you join a program like that, now you're with the guy that's did $500,000 a year flipping phones, and you've got my group chat, a guy that's done $1 million a year. You have 3 one-hour coaching calls per week with very successful people, and that give you that motivation. So see, the thing is, we can't buy our family, right? Like, we can't choose who our mother and father is. We can't, I couldn't choose that I had a horrible childhood growing up. But what we can choose is our mentors, and we can choose who we pay to teach us, right? So by choosing that, you're literally able to choose the people who can guide you in life. And for example, like Feldon, he joined our VIP program, right? And then now he was able to get this high level mindset by me personally over the phone, because we do one-on-one coaching for the VIP members. and then get that. So anyways, this is not a big sales pitch for this, but I want you guys to understand how important the mindset and thinking is, and connecting with people is more important than just the technical stuff with this stuff. Sam says, Aaron posted a great video about the 4 things to become a better phone flipper. Aaron is just an absolute beast. Aaron's one of those guys that will just stay up all night until he figures something out. Like he never complains. I've never heard Aaron make a negative statement since I've known him in the year and a half that he's been in the program. He's just a beast with mindset. Okay, so let's get into the specifics now. So getting into the specifics, here is one of our members, Brandon. Brandon's in this course, and he's in the next level program as well. And he did kind of like a combination between the objection and rebuttal script that I give you guys, and then Aaron's script in the next level program. And watch how he closes this guy. So let's just break it down. I'll show you guys the pics, and we'll walk through the psychology of this. All right. So he says, good morning. Is this available? I have an iPhone 7 Plus with a broken home button. Rip the home button when replacing my screen. Do you take that? If so, how much? He says, good morning, and yes, I do. Now, I love how he started this off. He didn't just say, yes, I take it, right? Or yet, he said, good morning, and yes, I do. So I like that. He's being friendly. He's welcoming the person. Person says, cool. And he says, any other issues with the phone? Says a cracked screen. So he's checking on the condition. That's good. Says, nah, I changed the screen. That's how I broke the home button. Haha, everything else works. Let's get to the step number 2. And now I like this. He says, haha, no worries. So he's putting personality into his message, right? Where I've seen a lot of other members, they're just kind of very cold and just kind of scripty with the people. But he says, haha, no worries. And he says, what company was it ran through? You can also say, what carrier was it? Who is the phone company it's with? Those are all different things that you can say with this, right? Same thing. So he says, it's unlocked, bought it from Apple, actually bought it from T-Mobile. And he says, so it was purchased through Apple Store, right? No, it was through T-Mobile. Remembered it wrong. Okay, so he was just confirming. I don't think this question was necessary. I think he probably could have skipped this. So this might have actually hurt him more than help him, because you're kind of confusing the customer here. So I would have probably just skipped right to, okay, cool, I'll give you 100 for it when he said this, right? But he closed the deal still, so it's okay. You don't have to be absolutely perfect. But that, if there was a critique, I would say leave that out. So then he says, no, it was T-Mobile, I remember wrong. He said, okay, cool, I can give you $100 for it. And the person says, can you do 220? Now there's a big contrast right there. He's offering 100. Now this person wants 220. That's a $120 difference, right? Now I love what he did here. Okay? This is very important. And you could do this through a phone call, or you can do this through text. You could say, some kind of a pause. And what this does is, this is a nice way of saying, like, without saying too much, you say a lot. Okay, I'll leave it at that. By just saying, But some people will just go directly into an argument with the customer. Now, you guys remember, if you've watched the videos in the course, if you're new, you probably haven't watched the negotiation videos just yet, right? But in the negotiation, we talk about the psychology of this here. And we don't want it to be a combat. We do not want your negotiations to be you versus the customer. We want it to be a strategic series of questions that leads you and the customer to a win-win, okay? It's just placing the puzzle pieces properly to make a deal, and it's you with the customer coming up with the deal together, not you against the customer. This is not a boxing match, right? So he says, can you do 220? Right? He said, it's a 32 gigabytes, right? He said, it's a great phone and I want to buy it. Now, this is something Aaron teaches. He likes to have them compliment the phone. This is a great phone. I want to buy it. Because I buy and sell, I need to make a profit, and home screens on a 7 or 8 are a bigger issue because they're not like physical home buttons like in lower models. The best I could do $100, but I can meet you today with cash. So this is what's called the reason respecting bias of the brain. So when he gives the person a reason, an explanation why, there's good times to use this and bads, but in this situation, he timed this properly, right? They found that when you give someone a reason, they're more likely to agree with you, and it doesn't matter really the reason, okay? So, he might have even made this up. I don't know, but buy and sell, I need to make a profit. Home screens on 7 or 8 a bigger issue because they're not physical home buttons like lower models. This in this situation does happen to be right. So he gives him a reason, and he says, the best I could do 100, and then he follows it up with a positive. This is important. Best I can do is 100, but I can meet you today with cash. So he's giving them like a negative, like, oh, unfortunately, I can only do 100. However, he's giving them the reward now. I can meet you with cash, make it a quick sale. Now the guy comes back, says, I understand 100 is a bit too low for me. I was thinking around the 200 range. So what he's trying to do, he tried to anchor Brandon at first. There's a thing in the brain called anchoring. And we always make our first decisions from the anchor point, right? How many people know about anchoring and watch the negotiation videos on that? Do a lot of you guys know about that stuff? Says yes, yes, yes. So a lot of you guys, advanced people, know the anchoring part, right? So for the people that are brand new, because you just started, so anchoring means like if someone starts off like with a ridiculously high price, they're trying to make it seem like that's the only price they're due. And a lot of new course members fall for this. So when he says like, I can do 220 when the phone's really only worth 100, he's trying to anchor him at this high price. Now every price that he offers from that is going to be compared to that 220, but that's a false bias of your brain. Okay. That's just a mechanism your brain uses as a shortcut, but it doesn't mean it's right. So just because he wants 220, it doesn't mean he's going to get 220 for it. So don't make your offer based on the anchor. Make your offer based on what you should be offering. So I don't care if he's like, well, I want 500 for my phone. If the phone you can only pay 100 for, then you offer him 100. You just ignore the fact that he wants 500 because it's an anchor. It's false. It's not real. Okay. So he says, let me get back on it. Let me think to you. And then Brandon says, no worries. It's just I have to spend money to fix everything again and still have profit. Now we know we don't fix to flip, right? So what's he doing here? He's giving him a reason why he can't pay so much. Remember the reason bias, right? So it says, I have to spend money to fix everything and I have to profit after my expenses. There any way you could do less than 200 if I met you today with cash? So again, see, he's focused on the positive. I can meet you today with cash. Can meet you today with cash. He's not getting negative, right? He's not saying, no, bro, can't do that. No, man, can't do that. He's giving him a good, intelligent reason. He's being very kind and polite. And then he's using a closing question. He's hitting him with that, the downside. Unfortunately, I can't, is there any way you could do less than 200? But I can meet you today with cash. He's following up with the positive. Lewis, now he's getting him. You see this, guys? He's wearing them down. The more times you ask and you don't give up, these customers will break in. And this is how you get someone now from, watch what he ends up doing here to get this person down to a low price. Can you do 180? He says, that's the lowest I could do because the home button's $4 online and I can change it out and use this home button. I can meet today if 180 works for you. Now look at this. He says, So he changes it up. See, a lot of people get scripty and they say the same thing over and over. They'll say, okay, great, or okay, it's a great phone. It's a great phone. And they'll keep saying the same thing, which is okay if you're brand new and you want to use a script, but you want to kind of change it up every little bit of wording, because if not, you're just going to sound like a robot and that's going to turn people off. So I like it, instead of he changed it to And this stuff is so effective, guys. So he says, you said it's through T-Mobile, right? Now, when he does this, what he's doing, he's just finding another angle, right? So he doesn't sound repetitive. He's just engaging with the customer more. This is basically a useless statement. It doesn't really do anything, except for him, it keeps the guy in the game with him. So it says, you said it's through T-Mobile, right? The guy says, yeah. I really want to buy the phone. I tell you what, it's a risk for me because these are kind of phones I get most returns on because there are other unforeseen issues or faulty repair work. Can you do 110 if I meet you right now? Now look at this. You guys remember me telling you this trick to take a picture of the cash and send it to him? There it is. He's got a picture of the $100 bill and the 10. He sent it to him. This is called the availability bias of the brain. When you make something easily available to someone, they're 10 times more likely to take something right in front of them than something that can't be seen or is far away. Okay? It's kind of like the mechanism in your brain when you're on a diet and someone puts a big piece of cake in front of you, your most favorite cake, and they're like, hey, would you like some cake? Now, you've been good the whole party, but they shove the cake in your face and it's right there and they say, would you like some? It becomes more easily available for your brain and you cave into that temptation and you eat the cake. This is exactly what we're doing here, is we're waving the reward, that cake, in their face so they want to take it more, okay? These are not logical decisions, guys. You might say, well, that doesn't make sense. That we don't, but human beings don't make logical decisions. We make emotional decisions. Our brains are emotional, not logical, and that's why this works. So he says, sorry, 110 is a bit low. Now, it may seem like he's saying no, but watch what happens as we go through this. Now he says, no worries. The market simply won't allow me to pay 180 for that. Now we covered that market thing a few group chats ago, and this is what's called blaming it on a third party, right? So he's saying, I'm sorry, I'd really love to buy it, but the market won't allow me to pay. So it's not his fault. It's not that he doesn't want to pay. It's not my fault. I'd love to buy it at 200, but the market's just not allowing me to do it, right? It's kind of like when your mom and dad didn't want you to do something. Your mother said, well, I would love to let you have those cookies, but your father just said no, and he won't let me do it. Now the mom doesn't look bad. Does this make sense? Okay. So I'm seeing all these comments here. You guys are funny. This is awesome. Okay, so let's continue on here. So now he says, can you do 150? Do you guys see what's happening? Every time he hits him with one of these psychological biases, it breaks him down step by step. And this is what's called the psychological funnel. We're taking someone from the beginning of the funnel, we're moving them along the timeline to the end of the deal. And we covered this on a group chat about 2 weeks ago, the timeline of the psychology process of negotiation. So he says, can you do 150? Now he went back to the which is okay because he's only used it once. That's fine. He repeated himself here, right? And then he says, if everything was in perfect condition, I could wiggle more, but I want to buy your phone. I just can't do 150. So again, he's reinforcing with the positive. I want to buy your phone. I just can't. And then he said, I just can't do 150. And now look at this guy's learning from him. Can you do more than 110? Look at that. Now he's being such a good negotiator. The customer is learning to use his own negotiation techniques. This is really good. And if Brandon, you're watching this, I just want to say how proud I am of you. Because I remember your texts, 6 months ago when you were in the program and you were just starting off. And this is just so advanced and leap years in improvement. I can tell you've been watching every course video that I've done, and you've been watching all the group chats recently. You've been learning from Aaron. I can see you've just learned so much. So I just want to say I'm really proud and great job, Brandon. He's going to be a superstar very soon. So now the guy says, can you do more than 110? And he says, I absolutely would if I could. In better condition and less risk, I'd be comfortable doing that for you. But 110 is my best price on this specific situation. So again, he's giving him that reason, and he's staying firm. Right? But he's staying firm kindly. He's not getting emotional. He's not reacting. So the guy says, okay, thanks. Let me think on that. He says, sure thing. I want to do a deal with you, Lewis. You seem like a stand-up guy. Now he did what's called building affinity. He used his name, right? Now, Bob, we did an interview with Bob today. Bob hit over 10,000 a month. And he said using someone's name really helped him close a lot more deals because he wasn't using people's name before. And once he did that, he noticed that he was getting way more offers, 2 to 3 more deals by using the customer's name. So what you do when you use someone's 5 name, you build what's called affinity for you, which means they have this uncontrollable attraction to you and they don't know why. You build this intimate connection by saying their name with them. And this breaks down a person's resistance. So he says, sure thing. I want to do a deal with you, Lewis. You seem like a stand-up guy. Are you in the Charlotte area? I love this. So now he's getting them really focused. Now he's using the availability bias of the brain to say, hey, are you in the area? Right? And he's getting him thinking. He says, I am. I'm in Pinville area. Nice. Oh, shoot. I lost the thing. Where'd it go? Nice. I do this for a living so I can meet you wherever we want mostly. This is showing he's a professional business person. He does this regularly. He's not a fly-by-nighter. He's not a I'm trying this business out kind of guy. He's in this for 100%. Oh, there he is. Brandon's on the chat. He says, thanks, Dan. Brandon, you did amazing. I just want to tell you, I don't know if you heard me saying those good stuff about you. But this is just fantastic, and I really love how much you've learned in this course. So he says, nice. I do this for a living so I can meet you whenever mostly. I have your cash on me right now. Again, he's reinforcing the positive. Have your cash on me right now. Guy says, sounds good. Sounds good. When do you think we can meet? Lewis says, well, I can meet anytime today, but I can't do 110 right now. How many times has that guy Lewis said no now? What, 10 times maybe? Maybe even more, right? And he says, I actually have a home button on the way, so I might just wait on that. Now he says, no worries. Again, he's taking the pressure off. No argument here. This is not a battle. You see that? He's keeping affinity, and he's staying in rapport with the customer by saying, no worries. It's cool. You couldn't do any less than 150 if I hopped in my truck and came to you right now and made it a quick sale for you. Boom. He's not giving up. So he's taking the pressure off, and then he's saying, hey, come on, any way we can get this to happen? And the guy says, I can do 130. Look at him breaking him down, 130. And now he says, that's better, but I still can't, unfortunately. I'll level with you. I'm going to be able to sell this. It's in current condition for about 190. Now he's giving him total logic. He's going to break it down from last step. This is the best I could do. And this right here is in the objection rebuttal script. So he says, I'm going to be able to sell this in current condition for about 190. After my fees, shipping, and taxes, I'll make about 40 bucks in the deal. You seem like a great guy. You wouldn't let me make 40 bucks. Now look at it. So he's breaking it down to the utter ridiculous. Come on, you wouldn't even let me make 40 bucks on this, right? So, hold on 1 second. I see it. Someone says, love it. Damn, man, that's deep. This is awesome. Felden's cracking up. All right, so now let's get to the next part. So all right, so that was the last text he said, right? Okay, now you're like, well, Dave, but I don't see you got the deal. Well, here it is right here. He says, He posted this in the group. He said, I work for this holy hell, laugh out loud, Dave Kosciuszko. And then look at in the comments, he posted right here. He said, I can meet today with cash. That was the last message. Here it is. Okay, let's do it. Can you meet in an hour? Boom. Congratulations, Brandon. You closed that deal. Guys, if you do this on every single text, you will be a phone flipping superstar very quickly. Very quickly. Okay? Now, if you do like this, by the way, Aaron Goldstein in our next level actually took a bunch of different text messages and psychologically breaks every single one of them down for you guys in the next level. So if you guys really love this stuff, now you've got all the psychology stuff here and you want live examples. He has tons of live examples for people in that program so you guys can see this stuff in action and be able to close. So I hope this was helpful for you, and thank you, Brandon, for letting us use this text. This was an awesome example. Chris says, Dave, can you do a conclusion of everything Brandon did? Well, I just did, right? Like, I think I thought that was a pretty thorough conclusion. I don't know if I could say all that stuff again. It took me about 25 minutes. So I would say just watch the replay. If you can, Chris, I'm not sure if you just jumped on the group chat maybe, but I was breaking this down pretty strong. I think that was the strongest psychology breakdown I've ever done, as a matter of fact. So maybe just try watching the replay if you can. Brandon says it was super tough, but I got through it. That was awesome. And here's the thing. When you get a win like this the first time, every other time after is easy because you know it's possible, right? So many new members, how many give up after maybe just even the first or second one of these no's, right? How many people have given up after the first no? But every no you make it past, you get stronger and stronger and stronger. And you start closing people that say no to you 6, 7, 8 times. Hell, I close people that hang up on me. And I'll call them back and say, hey, I'm sorry, I think we lost connection here, but I'd really love to buy your phone today, and I can put cash in your pocket. Can you do $50 for it? When you get to that level of negotiating, guys, you think about this. Even if you're like your business is dead for the day, and you only get four calls, like totally dead, business sucks, it's slow, and it's one of those days, and you can close 3 out of the 4 because you're so good. Imagine how sick money you will make in this business if you get that good at negotiating. Think about that. That's on 4 stupid leads a day, right? Now, what if you get 10 leads and you can close like this? You're talking $100,000 a year profit, not sales, profit in this business if you get this good at negotiating with your leads, okay? So it does take skill, though. This is not an overnight process, and I know Brandon's been in the program for a few months, and he worked at this. So, don't say, well, Dave, I can never be this good. Yes, you can, but it's going to take some work. You need to come to the group chats every week. Make sure you're hanging around the successful course members. Make sure your attitude is staying positive. You're saying that phone flipping credo every single day, and that will keep you in the mindset to learn this stuff. All right. So next, ads. Any questions on the negotiation before I move to ads? I would ask if you guys like it, but based on the comments, it seems this has been pretty helpful. And I don't think I need to ask because we've got about 1,000 comments of all kinds of cool stuff coming in. So let's see. Felon says, Tommy, that was a lesson that will make him millions. Let's see. Righteous mindset. All right. So next, let's move to the ads. So you do want to get leads in now, guys, okay, because you need leads in order to close. So there's what are the 3 main things in this business, right, guys? Is appraisals, negotiation, leads. That's all this business is. Appraisals, negotiations, leads. You master those 3 things, and you make lots of money in this business. But they're basic. But here's the crazy thing. So me and Aaron have this new program. It's a VIP mentoring program, and it's for members that are only doing 10 or 20,000 a month plus. It's not for new people and things like that. The program is not cheap, and it takes a lot of personal time for me and Aaron. But it's more of like a one-on-one accountability coaching program. So in this program, just to tell you, we broke it down into 3 levels, and we actually test the members. We make them watch videos, and then we give them a test. Want to hear something crazy? You would think that a guy doing 15, 20,000 a month would pass level 1. Right? Not one member. We have 5 guys in VIP. Not one has passed level 1 test yet. And there's 3 levels in the VIP program. Nobody has passed level 1 just yet. So this tells me that if just mastering the basics is one of the things that people skip on the least because they think it's too basic. But the basics is what makes the people successful. And even our advanced members don't have the basics down yet. So this is why it's important to get to the basics. So appraisals, negotiations, and leads. So for leads, here's a couple things. I see a lot of people struggling with Craigslist. If Craigslist is giving you a hard time, try other alternatives. I think definitely keep focusing on Craigslist, and Craigslist is great, easy money. But if it's not working, make sure you're going to try other things like Facebook groups. So we're posting in Facebook groups like crazy lately. We have 2 different profiles. My wife is posting in groups for me, and my employee Austin is posting in groups. We're posting in Facebook groups as a post. We're also posting in stories. So I don't know if you guys have tried the group story method, but this is getting us a lot of leads and calls. And this is where you actually upload it right to the group story. Okay, so that's a post right here we did in a group. We got 113 views. And there's quite a few pics. You can go through these and see the different views and different groups that we posted in. And then Amy posted a really good pic as a post in a group that got a bunch of messages. And it was, where is it? Here, this one right here. So this one she did December 17th. This is right before we went away on vacation. But she said she got a bunch of messages from this. This was the actual post right here. She said, "Hi, everyone. I want to let anyone know who's interested in getting some extra money for the holidays that I buy and pay cash for all kinds of smartphones and electronics. I do buy to resell, but I pay fair prices. If you have something you're looking to sell, please call." And there was our phone number. I hope you all have a safe and very happy holidays. Thanks. And then boom. And we had a little business card there with the phone number and then the cash and laptops and stuff like this. And this worked really well. Okay. Ugly works good in this business, guys. Ugly sells. So if you, like a lot of these pictures are just like a phone thrown with cash, but they're very real. Like these things, like, I'm not going to pick on my employee because he might watch this, but if you notice there's an apostrophe with the S, like there's not even proper grammar here. And we still got a lot of calls and messages. It worked great. So like, it's funny. We actually kept posting this and then somebody actually pointed out, it's like, oh, I didn't even realize that mistake. But here, there's a cool thing is you can mess things up in this business and still crush it. Like, look at that. Like we're at 32,000 for the month. We don't have the right grammar on our ads. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Right? Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't make a difference. So if you're posting in groups, that's a great way to do it. So for the apps, for Let Go, how many people here are posting on Let Go? Give me a yes if you're on Let Go. Give me a no if you're not. Yes, 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 yes. No, yes, 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 yes. I have not posted that. Yes, 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 not yet. No, but leads are shady. Whoa, Richard, you got to go watch the beginning mindset here. You got to watch the beginning of this group chat. just catching you there. But okay, so I don't know what Let Go is. All my deals come from Let Go. No. All right, so if you if you're new and you want to get a bunch of leads to practice on, Let Go is a great way to start getting practice right away. So Let Go is the app, right? So now, let me just get it on my phone. Hold on a second. I got to start marking my apps. I keep forgetting to do that. We have this on all my store phones. I don't personally post from my own phone, so give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. All right. Well, you know what? I can't find Let Go on my app, so I'm going to pick Offer Up. So when you're posting on the apps, most of the apps are all the same. Just, Let Go is usually the easiest one to stick. Offer Up can be a little tricky. We have a little hard time with Offer Up sometimes. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So if you're having a hard time with Offer Up, some people have a great time with Offer Up and they have no problems at all. We tend to have a little trickier time with that. But the point is when you're buying phones for cash, right? This is the type of things you want to use for that. So here's a guy. He probably, I don't know if he bought the course or he's in another course or something like that. I'm going to block his name out, but this is what you want to post like in an app. You want to have, let me pin the video on me so you can see me. You want to have a picture with the phone and cash. And you want to have, now this one's missing a note though. You want to have something that says I buy phones. So the best is get like a ripped up piece of paper. Don't use something with a straight edge, like a business card, because on a business card with the app's algorithm is very strong. So sometimes it picks up the straight edge and it will block your post. So I use like a torn piece of paper and I'll write I buy phones and hold it over that phone with the cash. All right. And then what you say in the description doesn't matter because you're going to say I buy phones. And then you put your phone number there. So the picture is doing all the work on the apps for you, just so you guys know. Don't put I buy phones in the description of the app. You put it in the picture, not in the description. In the description, you make it look like you're just selling a phone, right? Like This guy did it wrong in this one. He says, I have cash for phone, but he put the cash with the $sign. He's probably going to get blocked soon. So I wouldn't do that. And he says, I buy iPhone 7 Plus or newer. All that stuff, that's probably going to get shut down very quickly. So try not to do that. Just message me for details or send me a message. Send me a message for a quote or something like that. Keep it short and simple on the apps. Sam says 41 Opera views total. Good. Well, like on LetGo, we're posting on LetGo, and like we have so many messages that my employee can't respond to all like every day. He has still not been able to get back to like 30 people. So, it works pretty good. It's getting us. We use a combination of paid Facebook ads. I don't know if the paid Facebook ads, guys, is doing amazing. A lot of the members that have joined that course are crushing it with Facebook ads. Feldon is using paid Facebook ads. He's crushing it. Pavlin, another member, I just got off the phone with Pavlin yesterday. He's doing 23,000 this month, and he's just using paid Facebook ads and nothing else. So if you want to just skip the learning curve and just go to paid leads, they're working amazing. One of the guys named Bazad that's in this course, he's using paid Facebook ads. He just did 37,000 for the month. I remember Bazad 2 months ago before he bought my paid Facebook ads course, he was at like 10 or 15,000 a month. Once he bought the paid Facebook ads course, he went to 37,000 a month in like 2 months. So Chris says, I use them. They work fantastic. Yep. And Chris, me and him kind of like traded information, and I showed him like what to use for the Facebook ads, and he's crushing it. His picture was awesome, by the way. And I know he posted it and got phones immediately from it. So Pavlin's here. Hey, Pavlin. He's doing good with the paid ads. So if you're brand new and you're scared to spend money on ads, it's okay. Don't let that intimidate you. But if you're doing like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a month, and you got some experience and you have a little bit of cash to spend, the paid ads is very lucrative.
All right, good.
Oh, who said that? Remember that? I know Pavlin did 23,000 and he spent $300 on ads. That's a pretty good return on investment, right? I think that's pretty much it, guys, for the group chat today. I'm trying to think if we covered pretty much everything. I said we did the mindset, we did the negotiation, and we gave you guys some good ad strategies. Is there anything that I missed that you guys like or have a burning question on or anything like that? Timothy says Google ads coming soon. Well, Google ads are pretty complex and they're expensive. So I think the Facebook ads is a much cheaper return on investment than the Google ads. Although I do use some Google ads, not gonna lie, but I don't spend a lot. Tommy says, I had an idea to attempt to reach out method and attempt to get 100 people to tell me no. But if I get one person say yes, is a potential 200 profit. Is this worth pursuing or should I just stick with ads? So Tommy, there are members that do reach out. They reach out to like 20 people a day and they just make lowball offers. And it does work. I know members that have done 10,000 a month just reaching out to people, but it's much more, labor intensive. So if you have like a full-time job, it might not be the best strategy for you. But if you're like just hungry and you have plenty of time to just put as much work in as possible, then reaching out to people on the apps is a good way to build experience, right? They are going to be a little harder because remember, you're fighting a lot of competition now. If they've got an item listed, then there's a lot of other people that are going to make offers on that same phone. So it's easier if you get them to message you or call you. But if it's slow and you want to get negotiation practice in and maybe pick up a couple phones, that's a great way to do it. Grant says, thanks, Dave. Awesome as always. Awesome. Glad you like it. Gil says Instagram. I haven't found a profitable way to use Instagram yet. If there are any members that are using Instagram that is working, let me know. I'd love to use it. I mean, we tried posting on Instagram quite a bit and doing hashtags and stories. I don't think we really got much leads though from it, to be honest, with Instagram. We test everything, but Instagram was one of our low performers. So I said, let's stop focusing on that and just go all in on the paid traffic. Jason says, thanks for your time. Awesome. No problem. Timothy says, do you beat yourself up when you don't hit your goals and talk shit to yourself? So I've never found talking shit to myself and beating myself up does anything except discourage me, right? So you never really want to beat yourself up, and that goes against the mindset, Timothy, that I told you in the beginning. You want to reinforce yourself, right? Like, I don't think if I said to you, Timothy, you're a piece of crap, right? Why can't you ever figure out how to sell? I don't think that motivates you to sell more, does it? But if I say, Timothy, I know you could do it. I know you're going to do 30,000 a month. I know you could do it, right? Sometimes I've actually said that to members and then they do 20, 30,000 a month just within the next month, just for me believing in them, right? So positivity is much more positive than negativity. Don't beat yourself up if you're not doing something, but be self-aware. There's a big difference between beating yourself up and being self-aware. So being self-aware is you have a problem and you say, how can I I continue to repeatedly fail at negotiations, what do I need to find out in order to get my negotiations to double? Or how can I go from a 1 out of 10 to a 5 out of 10 closing average? That's the way you want to talk to yourself. That's not beating yourself up. That's being self-aware. Okay. Brandon says, always try to gauge where the customer is emotionally and investing in our conversation. Someone says, I think I might have got it burned on an iPad today. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's why you want to get really good at appraisals, so that way you're making sure you're buying at the right price, so that doesn't happen. So even if you do get burned, you have that cushion. You always want to buy at a price you're making a good profit on. That's important. Sam says, Dave, messages to help get people to come to you and my apps. So to get people to come to you guys, like, it's super simple. Just ask them. You say, and you just assume it. And I probably answered this, I think, on the last, 3 or 4 group chats, I've answered the same question. But it's really just a mindset thing. If you just force yourself to get everybody to come to you, you probably will. Timothy says he did $10,000 a month with no eBay and no car, and Timothy's in Canada, right? So that's pretty good. He doesn't even have eBay. He has to sell all the phones locally, and he doesn't have a car, and he's in Canada, right? Which is, most of the course members I have are a lot of U.S. based. So he had, not that we were still able to help him, but it was maybe a little bit harder. But it's just a mentality. Just asking people, hey, when you're doing a text, or I'll do it on a phone call. It works the same way in a text. They're no different. You could say something like, okay, I give you $100. All right, that's fine. I'll do the deal. Cool. Do you know where the Wendy's is by the mall in Warwick? Yes? Okay, great. Can you meet me there in 15 minutes? That's where I meet everybody to buy phones. You just make it seem like it's a routine thing. This is where you do the business. Guess what, guys? I didn't drive to anybody to buy phones, right? This is $32,000 a month. No, but I didn't drive to anybody's house buying a phone. Every single person had to come to me. And you go, well, Dave, you have a store. Right. That makes it even harder. We lose deals sometimes because people say, oh, you have a store, and shady guys don't want to come to a store. So it's harder with the store to close deals, and we're getting people to come to us. We're still doing $32,000 a month. It's just a mindset, guys. We just tell people, hey, meet us here. And the only thing the store helps is with mindset, because they have to. We can't go to them. We'll even get people all the time on the apps. They'll be like, well, you can't just come to me. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but we can't. But we have your cash waiting right here for you. We'd love to buy it. We just get them to come to us, and that's it. Let's see. Frankie says, Dunkin' Donuts loves me. Yep, exactly. Wendy's used to love me. That was my place, was Wendy's. And, I used to always get my daughter some chicken nuggets and french fries. She for 2 years, when she was 4 years old, she used to come out with me to buy phones all the time. You should hear my daughter negotiate. She can close probably better than 50% of the members I've trained. She's just amazing. I actually did a video once for her, and she knows how to upsell. She knows how to close. She knows how to do the rebuttals. And she's only 10 years old. It's crazy. Sam says she's almost better than Dave. Laugh out loud. All right, guys. I think that's it. How did everybody enjoy this group chat? Did you guys like the mix of stuff that we did, and did you enjoy the mindset? Yes, that my daughter Kyrie can close. Yeah, she's very good at negotiating. Karen says, loved it. Good job. Nathan says 15 out of 10. Yes, loved it. Excellent. Okay, good, guys. Let's get some more. I love seeing 4 members in a week getting to 10,000 a month for the first time. Let's just keep that up, guys. I mean, we have so many new members here. I just want you to remember this group chat, right? Remember the day that I said you can do 10,000 a month, and get ready to do it, because everybody that's done 10,000 a month was on a group chat like you going, I wonder if I could do 10,000 a month. Amrit today, he said, Dave, I always knew I would do an interview with you on your YouTube channel, but I never knew it would actually happen. And he was sitting there with me. We did the interview, and he's like, this just feels so good to be here doing this interview. And, he bought the course 9 months ago. He didn't have amazing success. Bob bought the course 3 weeks ago and already did 10,000 a month. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The thing is that you do it, right? So, you want to do it quicker if you can. If you want to do it quicker, set the goals, have the mindset, right? But either way, as long as you don't quit, if you've been doing this for a while and you're struggling, the thing is, you only lose when you quit. If you stop, that's when you failed. But no matter what's happened up to this point, you can still get better and improve. You just might be a few mindset shifts away, a couple little decisions away from building a 10, 15,000 a month business. It could just be the fact that you haven't believed it was going to happen, and your own attitude is turning away customers. And all you just got to do is be like, I'm ready to do it. And maybe you don't even need to learn the information. Whatever it is, just continue with it until you find that shift. and just boom. Because 10,000 a month will change your life. I can't tell you how many students that I've trained that have done 10,000. When they tell me their stories, it's very emotional to see like where they were. Like for example, Yev. Yev is a beautiful family. He's now traveling a lot, and he's kind of following my footsteps as far as like having that lifestyle to travel. Yev was making $150 a week when he started this course. His rent was $1,200 a month. And I was like, I remember he had paid for a boot camp. I don't know where he came up with the money to pay for the boot camp, but he had traveled to see me live in person when we were doing boot camps. I don't do them anymore. And then, we had a lot of fun at the boot camp. So we went back to the hotel and we hung out. Chris Kripe was there. And Chris was only doing $8,000 a month at the time when we had this boot camp, by the way. Now he's doing $30,000 a month. Yev was there, and we were sitting there. We're talking. It was like 2:00 in the morning, and we're hanging out, and we were just chatting about life. And Yev told me that he has a baby on the way, and that his rent was $1,200 a month, and he's only making $150. I said, how are you going to pay your rent? And he's like, well, I'm using the money from flipping phones to pay my rent. I was like, you got to cut your expenses down. I'm like, and I think that job, you gotta make more money. I was like, get yourself another job or find something to make more money temporarily, and don't spend any of your money from phone flipping, and then grow it. And Yev did that. He found a way to make some extra money with his job or get more hours or something like that so he can increase his income. And then he flipped more phones, and he used his job so he could pay his rent. And then within 3 months, he hit $12,000 a month. Right? So, just hearing these stories like that is very inspiring to see, someone like that, like Yev's got a baby on the way, and, wasn't making a lot. And now, Yev just did $15,000 a month, and he's shooting for $20,000 this month. And I'm almost positive Yev is going to do that. I don't know if Yev's here right now, but I don't really have much of a doubt in my mind that he's going to do 20 or maybe even 30,000 a month. I think that's amazing. So anyways, guys, you guys all have a great day, and let's have an awesome 2019 for everybody. Good luck. Go crush it. And I will see you guys on the next group chat. Have a great day.